About 4 years ago, I became obsessed with finding on YouTube the original opening credits for General Hospital in 1963. To this day, I can offer no explanation for that. I had not continued to watch the show. I'd stopped in 1991 after Jack left for the second time, and I can only attribute it to a kind of providence because I was determined to find this. And I was not someone who hawked YouTube regularly or went there to find archival footage or things like that. And on the side of the panel on my computer, related and suggested videos kept coming up. And I saw thumbnails that featured Frisco&Felicia. Now, I had loved them in their time and had loved the people who portrayed them and never forgot them, but life went on and, I moved on to other things. So I was resisting clicking on any of them because that's not what I was there for. And after about the 7th or 8th suggested video, all of them from the Asian Quarter, which is my favorite storyline bar none, I finally clicked on one. And the way that this particular uploader had divided up her segments, it was Asian Quarter Part 116. And it's when Frisco goes to Felicia at her job at the shipping office, and he shouldn't be there because he's undercover. And the whole clip is basically them kissing feverishly and passionately because they miss each other and he's not supposed to be there, and it's like all dangerous, and because he's trying to liberate the Asian section of town. I chuckle not because I don't love this storyline, but because even with all of this, I give it a generous berth. Sometimes they stretch the limits of what was reasonable in reality, but it was a wonderful storyline in its own right. Anyway, that was the first clip I found, and I was right back in. It took nothing. It took nothing but that. And watching that clip, I was 11 again when it was happening. All of the energy, all of the love, it was visceral, the exact same feeling I felt. And watching that clip actually helped me to do something I hadn't done before, which was grieve that those two characters, that their story had not ended with them together. There had been a sliver of hope, I heard, in 2007 when Felicia alluded to being back with Frisco, but this was off screen. It was, conjectured backstory. It's not something we saw. And I also grieved the fact that the Wagners' marriage had not survived, because that pairing had also been just as important to me, if not more, since I first saw them on screen together. I knew that something was happening with these two people. I used to live in fear that they would never figure it out. I hoped desperately that they would, because everything that they were bringing transcended the characters. And I began the slow but sure road to creating with Salimah P, Frisco&Felicia, an Undying Love Affair. I thought there needs to be a place online where people who remember these people can come together and pay it its due.